stream. All right, now we're live.
Awesome.
Sick. Okay. Cool.
Oh, whoopsie.
now we're live, right? Now we're live here at well, welcome everyone. We're finally living the dream and showing it out, huh? Here we go.
Welcome. Yeah, new viewers, existing viewers.
I don't think we have any existing. It's our first, what's it called? Maybe not. I don't know. This is our first relaunch.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, Ethan. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's Ethan's birthday today. He's senior citizen. So we decided for our content, we're going to do a lot of like water data reporting because we think it's cool and important information. So we'll start up down the coast, do the yellows. So go up to the Pacific here, or go up to the Northeast. Let's see, we'll go over to Chatham. You can look at Chatham. It's got their high tide, low tide. Looking pretty normal up there. Low tide, looking nice. The water level looks pretty nice out here. You see the water levels pretty decent, Ethan.
Oh. Question.
Sure.
Making sure we don't have any technical difficulties going on. We are live on our YouTube channel, right?
Correct.
Topography?
We are live on the YouTube channel with excellent connection. Why does it say private?
It's because it's private. I don't see it.
I was gonna say we're live, but it says private. Public.
Yeah.
Here we go. Can you see it now? Hey, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it. You know, we messed the beginning up anyway.
Yeah.
So tell me when it's good. Is it good?
I still don't see it yet.
Alright, I got the newsletter.
Okay, that's I'm still refreshing. I just got our rebrand message. Or we are currently rebranding and we decided not to monetize our YouTube lives. That's all I got.
Did you get your email yet? We're not live?
Oh, now it's showing. Okay.
If you look on the by the way, all of our episodes have posted. All 5 have posted. Look at that. Nice. Recent post. The emails have posted. It's a nice how do you like the what's it called? The newsletter.
The newsletter is very nice.
Yeah. Gives us good town adaptation. So for our viewers, we give a newsletter every week about what we're doing, lives, and coastal town of the week, and what they do for area, population, sea level rise per year, and average of risks, and what they're doing to overcome it. And then we have our episode list. We plan to do this like every week. So we'll have a new city every week. We'll have an episode on the coastal city we do. At times, I think we'll pick a city and do that. We're kind of excited to show what the country's doing in terms of adaptation. So, kind of nice to have a nice little podcast. So, one concurrent viewer. I'm sure that's Ethan, huh? You watching us, Ethan, on there?
Yeah, I found us. We're all good.
Perfect.
We're all up.
Cool. So everything's up already. It's exciting, huh? Everything's good to go. We can go into our like tides and currents weather right now. We can go into just the water level real quick. We'll start up here in the eastern seaboard. We'll go up here to go up to Maine, looking green, so it's fairly okay, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Good water level's not super high here. Not super low, not really going on here, so That's good. Let's go to the water temp. It's down to the water temp. So get the water temperature down here. You can get over to the upper towards Maine. Look at that water temperature. Even 53 degrees. 57. Get down here towards a river up in Albany. You're looking at like 70 degrees in the river. Wow. That's pretty warm.
Is that a normal temp?
Uh, yeah, I think so for this time of year. I don't see anything that's too crazy going on right now. Um, let's do visibility, work our way up. Visibility out here, about about 8 feet. 8 feet visibility. Yeah, you're looking at decent water level here. About 8 feet above MLLW, mean low level water. So things are looking decent. We'll look at the
No,
plot data. Plot data looks pretty consistent, so not much to worry about there.
no abnormally. I can't speak. Nothing out of the
Nah,
ordinary.
nothing out of the ordinary. Seems pretty normal. Nothing I don't see in here that's pretty crazy. You got your water temp, your air temp. You know, you got all your cool info here. Plot data looks pretty good, you know? So it looks pretty safe in the Northeast so far. I don't really see anything. It's crazy. A little bit up here, probably in the harbor. That's kind of an issue. A little warm. Yes. You got visibility here on some of these where you got like 5 nautical miles in these places. 5 miles, 5 miles. Bedford's around 5. Let's see here. Cool. Yeah, you're looking at here, it's like 62. Water temp at 62. Air temp. Refresh it to just give us just the visibility. So, see what just the visibility looks like. You can see where it's like red, where you kind of see like in terms of like visibility. Like you come out to the harbor, Chatham, and you're looking at very little data here. Water level, like just above, MLLW. Nothing too crazy. You look at the plot data; it's pretty similar. So I don't really see any abnormalities. You're averaging about 5 nautical miles out here by Providence. Woods Hole. If you don't know if it's Ethan, Woods Hole is a oceanography base. So there's a big oceanography school base here at Woods Hole Research Center.
Oh,
So
okay.
they have like your tide data for Woods Hole looks a little choppy, but still consistent, Still following a pattern. You see how it's following this pattern of like semi-diurnal patterns? That's kind of
Yeah.
what you're getting. But yeah, you're getting about visibility looking about 5. I mean, it's not looking anything crazy. Out here, high tide. So you're seeing normal data. Nothing too wild.
Kind of just ups and downs, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of too many issues out here. That was kind of neat to see. Which is good to see. It's good news, There's definitely good news. So I gotta go back down here to where I'm going to the Gulf. So this is where it's interesting. So if you look at the water temp, right? So the Atlantic, look at the water temp down here in Florida. 89.
This would be
right?
warmer.
It's
Yeah.
at 89 degrees. You come out here, 79, 82, right? Up 95. You go into the Gulf, right? Just go to Galvez. Of course, I can't spell. Should be like right. I'll just grab it. So you come over to here, right? Come over to Houston area. we'll just say this. We'll just do the. We'll just take this Galveston Bay, right? The jetty. Look at the water temp. Water temp 88. Warm water. Really warm water out here. 90 down here. 90 degrees down here in San Luis Pass. Water temperature is 90. So the Gulf is usually warmer. The Gulf, look at this. See this one? See if it does the. I just seen something that was concerning here. Not concerning, but
Slight
so
abnormality.
it was like 91 degrees. Look at this.
Yes.
So here's an interesting thing on water data. So in the Gulf, have you noticed that there's it's like diurnal waves? So yeah,
what kind of waves are those again?
those would be. Let me pull it up. Those are what you call. Computer's freezing. Those are diurnals, right? Where you have just a high and a low. So, like, you come over to here, right? You see this. You see how it's diurnal, right? High, low.
Yeah.
High, low. Now, let's come over to. And you really only see that in the Gulf. Come over to here. Semi-diurnal. 1, 2, 1, 2. See that? That'd be a semi-diurnal wave, right? And then you go out here. Go down to old. So I've actually been to this NOAA buoy. I've been to this data point right here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually.
Now it's mixed. See what I mean? It's a mixed tide. I've been to this right here. This is Coronado. This is on the edge. So if you go downtown, all the way downtown, this is located on the edge of the Broadway Pier.
Okay.
And the boat. So yeah. I used to go down to Seaport. That's the Broadway Pier. You can go there, I believe. And then this is the other side. This is Coronado. So I used to hang out over here in Little Italy. Hang out right here. We're specific. Yeah, there's the administrative building. There's a coffee shop right here I used to hang out at. It's right here, Ethan. I used to go right here.
Reminiscing now.
Oh, no, it's right here. It's this one. Right here. I used to come out here and go right here. It's coffee shop. This is a Jack in the Box. Yeah, reminiscent, right? Totally reminiscent.
I don't think I ever had Jack in the Box.
The best.
I can remember.
The best. I used to do research down. I don't know if there's a water data for it. But so here's the estuary, right? Here's the slough. Here's the estuary. We used to work right in here. I used to work right here. And then I did work down. So here's Old Dairy Mart Road. So I used to work right here. There's a secondary road here. This is all federal. You take this through, and you take this down. And we used to have research equipment right here.
Did you like doing research?
It was sewage filled. And then right here is Mexico. You know what I mean? So I'd be right. Yeah. I used to work right next to Mexico.
That there's a connected issue, isn't there?
It's been there for a long time. I didn't discover it, but it's been a known issue for. I just worked on it. It's been known for a long time. Sewage comes out through here, comes up here, goes through that river, you know.
And that would definitely mess up the water quality.
Yeah, so what you could do in San Diego, to be fair, is you can go down here, and you could do a trolley stop right here. I used to go off this trolley stop, and if you walk south into here, there's a walking bridge to Mexico right here.
Mm.
Or is it over here? It's over here. Here's the walking bridge to Mexico.
Oh.
So you can get off at the trolley stop and walk over to Mexico. I used to do that.
Huh.
I hang out down here. And you can take a bike. If you got a bike, you can bike down to downtown Tijuana. Now, Tijuana's not that. I don't think it's that bad, but some people are, you know. You don't have any. I really want to go down to here. This place is really pretty. It's not too far. What if it's on the map? Yeah, right here. Ensenada. Ensenada's really pretty. So, like, I recommend go down to Ensenada and then going down. Baja California is extremely pretty.
I would love to go back and explore.
Well, I'm gonna be driving from all the way back here. So yeah, you can.
I can have a vivid memory of what California looked like when I was there.
Yeah, I might get some heat from this, but it's the best state in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. Plan on
Yeah,
moving back. I plan on moving back. So yeah, so interesting data. You can look at the kind of a neat little winds here, relative humidity. I'm more curious in like the water level.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a really cool. So like the Gulf of Mexico, dude, we have so much data on the Gulf of Mexico. Look at this. We have so much data on the Gulf of Mexico for buoys. All right, like we have enough tide data. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's less data in California than there is in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm thinking about doing my research up here.
There is a lot of data recorded over here, it looks like.
That's San Francisco.
That's
I want to do my research over here.
in the cooler waters.
Yeah. So like I would be more interested in like the estuary around here and what's going on up here. But I need more data, more I don't know exactly, but talk to people here what's happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. We look at golf. We got this whole thing, you know? We got this in Key West down here, water level. You got your plot data, which
It kind of gives you ideas where you could do some research too. If you see where some areas are gathering data, other areas seem like they're kind of there is no data collected in that general area. So I guess it kind of leads up for like new types of data collection if you're ever curious, right?
yeah, it's so like I don't know. It would totally depend on like what's been done, what to fill. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions I have to ask my PI to figure out like what and try to figure out what's happening. So I mean, we got options. I'll talk to my peeps. So interesting charts through here. So if you ever want to look at tide and currents data, and for you, Ethan, here is you have data in the not just on ocean fronts either. You got data here. So if you go down to like the Detroit River, you got Fort Wayne, Michigan. So IGLD, it's above low water. So they use interesting thing for data, right? So
Mm-hmm.
because this is not oceanographic data, it uses LWD, which is low water data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's low water data, right? That means the water well seldom falls below it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they're talking about tide data, ML is mean lower low water. It sounds confusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what it actually means is the average of the low water heights observed over the national tide data epoch. That's your mean low water. But if it's talking about lower low water, it's literally the lower low water height of each tide day observed instead of just low water, you know? And then you got
Mm-hmm.
your MSL, which is your mean sea level. You got your other stuff, you know? Um, you have your, usually you mean high water, but in higher water. Normally it's your MLLW. That's kind of like your, what's it called? Something to think about. You have to think about, like, there are different kind of tides, so like different data would be used with different things, you know?
I guess what kind of would probably interest me is how high the water kind of rises, maybe due to rainwater and stuff. Because I know around here in Michigan, there's been quite a few floods.
Yeah.
Would that even affect? Would that be
For oceans or just for like, so like
just
on a
rivers, lakes here in Michigan?
rivers, yeah. So like in rivers, definitely. You also see it affect oceans too, with like you have runoff. That's in pollution from rivers. You know what I mean? If they're
Mm-hmm.
polluted, they're going into the ocean. I mean, they're gonna go. Water's gonna come with it. You know, like you got nutrient load, algae bloom, different kind of from fertilizers, and that's why agriculture by rivers can be kind of bad.
Yeah.
Sediment transport, it adds another layer of sediment. If it gets rushed down the river, it's got to come into the ocean for.
Mm-hmm.
Stormwater infrastructure stress. But on regular rivers, I would say that I mean, they're pretty similar. But I think there's some interesting things to think about too is you have like altered flows, right? So like if
Mm-hmm.
you get sudden rainstorms that cause like massive flooding, like just for big river flow, like
Mm-hmm.
it'll stress the aquatic life, right? So it can cause like habitat disruption. I think when
Okay.
you look at rivers that are flooded, they're usually more turbid. So they have more turbidity. Temperatures change. So those are things to think about. So that's one thing I would think about. Um, and other locations, you can see it pretty much rocking in North Carolina. Kind of windy out there. Let's go check the weather at Cape Fear. You ready?
Oh, sure.
You see the camera?
I just got two cameras down below.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see the Cape Fear one?
Oh, there you go. I switched over. Oh, that's pretty windy there in Carolina. Now, Alaska, that's just beautiful. That's my dream.
Yeah, can't find it here. That ain't it. That's the Marine Lab, though. Hey, come on, you have Thai data at the Marine Lab, Duke Marine Lab. There you go. Looks normal to me. That's the Coast Guard station. Hmm. I don't see it. Let me type it in. Cape Fear. So there's no stations down here in Cape Fear.
Oh,
But we can go up to Wilmington and give us kind of the idea. I guess would give us a good idea here. So mean low, lower water. You see that water level? Mean
Mm-hmm.
low, lower, mean lower, low water. MLW. Say that five
It,
times fast.
it seems like there's still some areas that could do with some more research.
Oh, of course. We don't really know like very little about the ocean and coastal, of course.
Coastal, yeah, it's like
We know
and
very
you can see
little.
where some parts of the coast is like there could be some more data that could be collected over there. But I
Yeah, we
guess they
got
could do kind of compare different areas, don't they? Kind of closely.
we got St. John's down here. It's got data.
Mm.
Interesting place to do work. I'm still looking at research areas. You got Hawaii out here. You got the American Samoa. It's got Pago Pago. I'm
Mm.
sure I said that wrong. That's kind of limited data out here. Tides are still being published, but here's the thing: it's only below, so it's pretty all right. You got Guam sitting out here, right? Yeah, looking fine. Everything here looks fine. Interesting. Earth Banner Island. So yeah, you got all these important islands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
So yeah, there's charts all over the place for this stuff. If you want to see what some of this stuff looks up, you go into imagery hybrid, kind of changes, You can kind of see for yourself what happens. You can kind
I'm always kind of curious
of
about the Forgotten Islands,
which one of those? Oh, me in general.
just in general.
All islands are
Then,
forgotten about unless you live there. I don't think there's many people that think of islands, and they tend to get left behind.
mm-hmm.
And that's kind of just like what it comes off as, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. They do get left behind, and it's sad, but it is what it is, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, Alaska is pretty. Go down to
Yeah,
our third one. We can go down to our look British Columbia, Canada, and then we got other work lab in BC. It's all Canada.
mm.
I think we. Yeah, it doesn't show the Canadian for it. Yeah, it does. And it just shows Alaska. There's a bunch in Alaska. Look at this one. The low water here for sure. Yeah. But next tide's supposed to be 3 feet of water. You know what I mean? But kind of abnormal tides here. We're kind of mixed tides.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you read the name of where it's at, it's called Unalaska, Alaska.
Unalaska. I never heard of that one.
You never heard of Unalaska, Alaska?
Makes me wonder why I got that name.
Yeah, there's a city in Alaska called Unalaska. It's in the Aleutian Islands or whatever. The Aleutian Islands. Yeah, you ever want to laugh? Things to do in Unalaska. You can go to the World War II Museum. Go to the Russian Orthodox Church.
Oh, okay.
I mean, keep in mind it was part of Russia for the longest time. Yeah, these are the Aleutian Islands. You can look how close you get. So if you go to here, I think this is the last spot for Alaska is right here in Odak.
Oh.
So this is what you see. It's a low water alert. See this? This is what you see, a low water alert, and you haven't seen one, but you can see where it's like a semi-diurnal. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a diurnal. It's like one up, one down. But yeah, it's a low water alert for minus 33. So that's something to keep in mind.
Mm.
Journal's kind of like one high tide, one low. Semi-journal's too high, too low. And then mixed is kind of just all over the place. You know what I mean? Height is all over the place. So, I'm pretty sure the country border is like right here. And this would be Russia. I've flown over this before.
Oh, that's cool.
I've flown over Alaska. I've flown over this. So I've flown over here.
And the water's kind of interesting.
I've flown over North Korea before. Yeah, I've entered North Korean airspace a few times. I mean, if you get to Shanghai, you're gonna end up. If you go from LA, you're gonna end up doing this. Because it's straighter. You end up right here.
Okay.
You end up right over Dandong. I mean, into Shanghai. Shanghai's huge, by the way. If you've never seen Shanghai, it's gigantic. Look at that. Crazy, right? Over here a lot. Crazy. A lot of metro. Yeah, you get a lot of interesting stuff in the ocean shelves, you know? Kind of see these different kinds of topography from the ocean, you know? Everyone, you know, the ocean's definitely not like flat. It has its trenches. We haven't mapped a lot of it, and we need to really map it, and maybe in the future I'll map it.
Looking at some of the formation that you can actually just see just in the water from this map is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. We can go down to look at some sea level rise scenarios, since we were talking about like water like that. Let's go back up to Alaska like we were doing, right? You got this right here. Let's say you got the bay here. Let's say we just bring this up just a little bit. It's already suffering, right? I look at it. If you bring it up just 2 feet. This is the current mean high water, right? This is the high. So like if we're raising it up, let's say it was 10 feet, the whole thing would be gone, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we go mapping confidence, right? This is where we have mapping confidence. We'll do this in meters. Say we go to like 1.2. It's significant, you know, for American audiences, 4 feet.
So this is what could be underwater?
It will be underwater. If it goes up 2 feet, you're looking at how much inundation you have there. Yellow is inundated, you know, it's flooding.
Well, that'll force some people to move more inward.
I mean, it's gone. If you 10 feet, it's gone. It doesn't exist no more, you know? It doesn't exist no more. Oh, you got this little section through here, you know? You lose that little section of land through there. Yeah, sea level rise is a big issue. You know, big issue, and a lot in the bays too. Like, here's something I think people don't really realize. Like, you go over to California. Let's go to San Diego, right? So let's go 2 feet in San Diego, right?
Okay.
Honestly, look, like if you go up to 3 feet in San Diego, it's not not a ton, huh? Right?
Hmm.
Let's go to
Okay.
let's go to 10 feet. Now it's hurting, but let's go to 8. 8 feet. San Diego might have flooding issues and different impaction, but it's still living.
And if if it just keeps decreasing like this as it is right now, I don't know if anybody's going to be prepared for it.
Well, but this is what I wanted to show. I've driven through there. It's a nice route. I like the
Yeah.
desert.
Oh yeah, it's like some piers are probably flooded. Some
So
shops probably flooded.
let's go down to Corpus Christi. So this is already flooded. This is where I would work. It's already flooded. It's already having
Mm.
sea level rise issues. You didn't even have to. You didn't even have to go into like. I mean,
Right,
Corpus
I mean, like
Christi.
when.
This is now. Now you go up a
Mm.
foot, Corpus Christi. Look at
Oh,
this.
so this is what's already being flooded.
This is already flooded, Corpus Christi. This is already impacted.
So is
Already
this
impacted.
affecting people's lives, like homes and stuff already right now?
Yeah, this is the mean high water. Like this is what high it gets. Yeah, it floods. It floods
Mm.
here. Like we'll take Highway 189 across the bridge. If
There's
the
no
high
prevention for that
water,
right now.
if the high water hits, the bridge is flooded.
Mm-hmm.
Highest water reported. You go up to 6. You go up to what I say, 3 foot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more damage in Corpus Christi than there is in San Diego. The Gulf is flooding quicker than the coast. Come up here, drop it down to the current high, mean, what? High, mean, high. Yeah, can't speak. Mean, higher water, whatever.
That makes you
Gotta
think, well, what's it going to be like a year from now?
let's go up to Galveston.
Is
Let's
it
go.
possible for any of it to recede, or is it just going to keep growing?
Here's Galveston. It's
Mm.
on the barrier island. The Galveston's on the barrier island. Let's give it a foot. Inundated, impacted, or impacted,
So all that's
impacted.
impacted.
Yeah, but Galveston's doing okay, better than some. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's a barrier island. It's kind of used to it. It's rolling over itself. But if you go over to Houston, which is gonna be like in here, that's Texas City, by the way. How is it? It's up here. Galveston's down. Houston's up here, right? So you go to
Mm-hmm.
Houston, you have this. I don't really want to work on this too much. I could, but I'm tired of cities. But yeah, you see where the damage is? You see where the damage is at, though?
Yeah.
It's down here. It's this section of the Gulf. So you bring this to 10 foot. Look at the flooding.
Yeah, that's
So
going to start destroying businesses, homes.
New Orleans would be gone. New Orleans is gone in 5 feet.
Mm.
New Orleans is already heavily impacted. Florida, but on here to Key West.
Oh, half of I say a big chunk of Florida has been, swallowed up.
Yeah, what, 10 foot? Yeah.
Yeah.
10 foot New Orleans and Miami are gone. Even at 5 foot, Miami is gone. 4 foot, Miami is pretty much gone. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, there's no fixing that.
It's really gone at like 8. So yeah, if you get to the feet mark, and you get your high flood, you already have your high tide flooding. You see the red?
you're forced to adapt at that point, even if it's possible.
You already have like high tide flooding. You've already had 9 days and 6 days and 5 days. Like it's already happened, right?
Mm.
There's no like guesstimate that this doesn't flood.
This is just a matter of years at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. I mean, no, it wouldn't be. It's not gonna be tomorrow,
Yeah.
but
Basically, I guess the question is, in our lifetime.
uh, I don't think you'll see Florida disappear. You know what I mean? In our lifetime, I think that what you're looking at is like maybe on average, you're looking at about like point 0.5 to 3, say 3 feet tops. Maybe like, yeah, maybe like zero point 0.3 to 1.1, 1.2 meters by 2100. So let's just say it's like zero point 0.3, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at like, oh, let's go to here. On it, wrong one. So go to New Orleans, right?
Okay.
Mapping confidence. So you're looking at like foot by 2100.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his stuff is gone. A lot of his stuff is gone. Go down here to Corpus Christi. Oh, I went way too far. It is impaction. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is happening at a rate of that per every, let's go another 2200, 2300. Let's just say a foot. 24, 25, 26, 27. Year 3000 been reclaimed.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this will eventually get. It will get to this point.
I mean, the barrier islands will not be around in the year 3000.
Mm.
The current model would suggest that they won't be.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is. It is sad. I'm curious to see. I mean, you had that chart. I mean, here's the chart for sea level rise.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, like, you were kind of going off of, this chart.
Yeah.
I mean, from NOAA. I mean, was it NOAA? Yeah, it was climate.gov. Yeah. You can
Mm.
see it. I mean, you don't even need charts to be fair. I mean, you can see it yourself.
How much has just progressed?
Yeah, I mean, you could just see it yourself. I
This is
mean,
going back.
that's,
This is going back to 1880, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's something to look at. It's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to think about. So that's just something in the future to like want to be aware of that like these things aren't working like we think.
I mean,
And I think
there is a course where this could just naturally progress, but there's also the proven fact that human activity has accelerated it.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's what we're looking at here. You just have to think about that. I mean, of course, like it could be issues, you know. We could totally have these things happening.
Just
Totally.
because just because we might not see like the horrendous after effects in our lifetime doesn't mean we shouldn't try to do something now.
I mean, you have to adapt, right? You can't just allow it to happen. You have to adapt. By the way,
Plan for the future.
big shout out to explorer.org for us using their cameras for educational.
Oh
So
yeah, that's awesome.
much appreciated. Want to give them credit for where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
we're not cool enough to have our own cameras. So, I mean, so help them out with that. Um, I think it's interesting. You see a lot of really cool stuff, and I think with sea level rise, it's something to worry about.
Yeah.
Well, cheers. Cheers. Oh, God, that felt good. Good tea. It's good to have time off. So, how was your birthday? Do anything crazy? Do anything weather fun?
I don't know, nothing too much. Kind of kept it down low. Just enjoyed it with my parents. Got me uh cookie dough ice cream cake.
Here you go. I didn't do much. Just worked on a certificate, turned everything in, and gotta get my car fixed. I get ready to get back to doing research work.
Mm.
I know it's exciting. I'm excited to get back to doing work, and you know,
And where's your
not.
target location again?
I have no idea. I'd have to talk to people. I have no idea. I don't know if even if I did, I don't know if I want to tell people in the air where I want to do work at.
Ah, makes sense. Yeah.
So like, you'll know in due time.
Makes
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. When the publication comes out, I'll tell you. I'm just kidding. I'll
Yeah.
tell everybody. But yeah. I mean, today just vibing out, checking the radar. Radars look pretty good here. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's too crazy.
But that doesn't mean, that just shows that, the change, with the climate change, it's not like every day a disaster is happening. Every everything's kind of gradual.
Yeah.
I think
I'm.
that's kind of why, you know, people might have one side say, you know what, it's just the Earth doing its thing. But then there's actually data that things are more abnormal, but that doesn't mean every day is going to be abnormal. So that's the point of doing all the research to
Yeah.
keep measuring predicting.
Exactly. I've been watching these tropical storms too. There's been like a couple here. There's three, which is in Hong Kong, and then you got CPAT.
I feel like we get more tropical storms than we used to around the world.
Yeah,
I don't know, just feel
you're
like
getting a lot more severe weather. Like weather seems to be getting more severe.
hmm,
I
I
mean,
just feel like it's just the Earth, just yelling at us.
well, the reason yeah, I agree. The reason it's increasing though, you're getting warmer atmosphere, so you're getting more moisture, right? So the hotter the Earth gets, the more air. So you're looking at, I think it's like, if I remember from geography class, and I remember from all that physical geography stuff, I
hmm
believe it's like 1 Celsius increase in temperature. I think it's like 7%. It can hold more water vapor.
hmm
So that'll fuel heavier rainfall. Another thing to think about is you have higher ocean temperatures. So like when you got like the Gulf and the Atlantic, that's why you see more violent storms out there. Well, and other factors too, but those are contributors. You know what I mean?
hmm
And you got the jet. You got atmospheric changes. You know, jet streams that are shifting. You got sea level rise that is making coastal impacts harder. You know what I mean?
hmm
Do you know why there's only hurricanes in the Atlantic?
Why? Because of the temperature?
No, just terminology.
Oh.
Just terminology. In the what's it called? In the other parts of what they're called different things. I believe it's like Northwest Pacific, it's a typhoon.
Oh, that.
If it's in the
Yeah.
South Pacific, Indian Ocean, it's a tropical cyclone. So really just a name. A
hmm
name in nature. One I think is like, yeah, so like name in nature. Yeah, it's just funny. Just different names, different regions. It's a fun geography thing to think about.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's
Can I back off?
that's not good. I think what's interesting is that you're looking at all this weather, like severe weather, you know.
Mhm.
And one thing I think is really cool about oceans is that if you go ahead and say you could go underwater, right? You could look at like how many mountain ranges are in the ocean. You have so many like mountain ranges, like mid ocean ridges that are like 65,000 kilometers.
Mm.
Like the ocean is not flat at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think what's interesting is I'm seeing a lot more tornadoes.
Oh yeah, actually, I wanted to bring something like that up. So I was in the car the other day. Me and my mom were driving, and I saw this cloud how it was like dipping down, and it was when we had like a big heat. Then we just had a big rainstorm. I was like, almost made me think that cloud, or she mentioned that that cloud could turn into like a tornado. Or at least the shape, it looked like a tornado or something. It's like that would actually be terrifying because I've also noticed that we've been getting more tornadoes around.
Yeah, yeah. I think some of that has to do with just the sheer fact that reporting and detection has gotten better.
Mm.
I think like people are moving to more like tornado prone areas too. You got you got climate change effects. Um, I still think there needs to be more data on that. I think,
Mm-hmm.
tornadoes can be influenced by like many factors, not just climate change.
Mm.
So yeah. So it's interesting. I think like even like myself, I went out and did like Skywarn.
Mm.
Yeah. It's you could do it. You could be a Skywarn person if you wanted
What's
to.
that?
Skywarn, you can he train you how to do how to be what's it called? A like certified like storm spotter
Ah.
through the National Weather Service.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so like tornadoes are definitely interesting. I like to watch a lot of tornado chasers go out there and get cool images. It's kind of neat. Kind of neat. I'm like, oh, at least I don't have. I'd rather stick to the ocean. Thanks for doing it. You
I
know what I
know,
mean?
giving me anxiety.
I would think it's cool.
Mm.
Um,
Ocean itself, even though I can't swim, I bet that would be pretty nice. Go on a boat, do some, collect some data, do some washing.
it's a fun one. It is a strong one, and you really it's oceans are deadly. Like they're not to
Yeah,
mess
that's
with.
all I'm told.
Yeah, they got strong currents, riptides. You got large waves, storm surge. You got, there's marine wildlife out there. But honestly, I think hot take, but I feel like sharks are less of a threat to humans than people made it out to think. I blame the movie Jaws for that.
Oh, I believe in when Jaws came out, wasn't there like a mass killing of sharks by people because they were afraid?
Yeah, I think so. So stupid. I
Yeah,
think Jaws has influenced negative perception.
I think when it comes to predators, they're only a threat when you're basically just approaching their territory, or basically they're just getting confused, like what something is. That's why you need to be. That's why you gotta be careful with your surfboards.
Yeah, and I think that what's it called? I mean, sharks just can't see you. They're not interested in you.
No.
I think a lot of times they'll bite out of like curiosity, but they don't understand that it can kill you.
It
You
starts
know what
off
I mean?
curiosity, then it turns into instinct.
No, I don't even think they want to eat you. I think they're just
No.
like they bite you and they realize you taste like crap, and they're just
Oh.
like, "That's not what I wanted." You know what I mean? They can't see you. They don't have good eyesight. They can't see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, okay. I mean that. I think this is food," and then they're like, "Oh, this is not food. Crap."
Hmm.
Yeah, they have like sharks have really good dim light vision, right?
Hmm.
So they can see in like dim what you know, but they have limited color vision. They can't tell.
Hmm.
So so they're they don't have they can't see like cooler. You can't see like they can't see colors well. They can only see like gray, right? They're more reliant on other senses, you know. And if the water's murky, they can't tell at all. They have to rely on other things.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I think a lot of it is an accident.
I believe so.
I mean, I think a lot of it is mistaken identity. They think you're a sea lion or a seal, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're neither of those." I feel like sharks, like I said, they bite out of curiosity. They're trying to learn what you are. Then they
Hmm.
realize that you're bleeding everywhere, and they're like, "Crap, didn't mean to do that." Some will defend their territory, but only if they really feel like they're threat.
I think it depends on the species of shark.
I mean, I think if humans are by prey, like if they're splashing, if they're by a bunch of fish, I mean, the shark
Hmm.
might get confused.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, shark bites are super rare, and they're like almost never fatal.
Aren't they coming closer due to changing of the water? I think that's going to confuse them.
I think so. I think they would be confused by that. I think with the warmer waters, they are. Um,
Hmm.
I also think that like there's more beachgoers and you have like improved detection. So I feel
Yeah.
like this is something you see a lot, and you see this a lot in like why we're getting excess numbers of storms, why we're getting an excess number of sharks, why we're getting an excess number of whatever. A lot of it just has to do with technology.
Hmm.
So like we're reporting it more.
Okay. So what was originally rare is just more data.
Yes, correct, exactly. So like we're getting mixed information on this stuff. I think we're getting mixed information on it, and I think that's kind of the issue here.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily think it's the fact that like they're what's it called? They're trying to harm us. When in reality, I think they're just maybe that they're just like confused on what they're doing. I mean, you got to think too. Warmer coastal waters are kind of pushing sharks' prey and the
Yeah.
sharks by default into a new region.
Hmm.
So coastal development, nutrient runoff, it all attracts sharks to urban shorelines. Heavy
Yeah.
population. You got conservatism. Conservation has helped with like reefs, but it also allows predators to follow the food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shark population, I don't think is increasing. At least that's not what I heard last. Um,
I'm just thinking this is a good subject matter because I think we're getting closer to Shark Week, aren't we?
I think so. When is Shark Week?
July. I know it's in July.
I'm gonna look it up. July 17th.
Oh.
July 20th.
Oh, I always love learning about sharks.
Yeah,
I
I love
remember.
sharks. Sharks are fun.
I
They're underrated. They're really not that. They're really not mean.
love a lot. I pretty much love all of nature.
I've swam with a shark before.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, not all shark species are gonna harm you.
No.
You can swim with like whale sharks and stuff like that.
Mm.
Whale shark. I've swum with a whale shark. Whale sharks aren't gonna hurt you at all.
I think there's another tiger sharks you gotta watch out for.
Eh.
Hammerheads.
Yeah, I've seen a whale shark. They're just not that common. Like I was just lucky enough. Another
Mm.
one's a leopard shark.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Those are common in San Diego. You see leopard sharks all the time in San Diego, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's just a leopard shark."
Mm-hmm.
To me, leopard sharks are they're not dangerous. They're harmless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I swam with yeah, maybe it was a leopard shark I swam with, not a whale shark. Leopard sharks they have zero verified records of hurting humans.
Yeah, I don't really know of any of
They're
like
they're
type
not
of fighting.
they're not aggressive. They're cool. Have you ever seen like a leopard shark?
I've seen one on TV.
They're neat. They're cool to swim with.
Part of me's always been interesting in diving. Like, even though I can't swim, but I always thought that would be kind of that'd be something I want to cross off my bucket list at least at some point.
I got hit by something in the ocean once. I was standing in the wave and something hit me in the leg.
Something hard.
Yeah, something. It was hard. It hurt.
Dang.
It did hurt. Like something hit me. Like,
Did it leave a bruise?
it did.
I guess you don't know what's gonna wash up or come out of the water.
Yeah, it hit me. Like it didn't. I was in there like kind of like whatever. It wasn't a current. Like it was hard. You know.
Hmm. So it could either be a rock or human made debris.
Could also been either a shark. Could have been a ray. Could have been a fish. Could have been
Oh.
debris. But I didn't see any debris. I didn't see any debris. Like nothing. There was no debris.
So
There
you
was
might have
no. It
just
might have been. I didn't get stung or nothing. I think it just got
mm,
thrown. Whatever it did got thrown from the wave,
mm.
and it wasn't a push or pull. It was like a bump.
So it might have been stopped by a heavy fish.
It could be fish, shark, something. I don't think it was a great white, obviously, but could have been a leopard shark just swimming around, got thrown.
Mm.
I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows? It could have been a stingray too.
Mm.
Could have been kelp. Could have been wave debris, but I don't know. But it hurt. But it definitely hurt. I
I
didn't
guess
get.
being below the water, don't expect to leave the water without a few,
Well,
stars.
yeah, I was standing there and I was like, and I was like, what just hit me? And I know it wasn't no one's surfboard or like it was something a rock. I'm like, something just hit, like it hit, and I was like, dang. It's like this hurts. It was didn't hurt. It didn't like break anything. It's just like I was like, ooh, I feel that.
I got slapped in the face by a bird.
That's funny. Did you?
Yeah, I was walking to the I was working at the grocery store doing carts. Bird slapped me right in the face.
That's funny.
It's also very rare.
I bet. I've never heard of that. I would say the coolest thing with an animal for me was probably like and you're not supposed to do this. This is frowned on. Um, I was about like a couple feet from like a sea lion's baby, and
Oh,
the sea lion wanted to show me the baby.
wow.
Yeah, you can get in trouble for it. I didn't touch it, and you're not supposed. I wasn't gonna touch it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I definitely was able to look at it. But yeah, I didn't want to touch it.
There's a few species out there that love to have humans, see their babies.
Yeah, I mean, sea lions are
It's
friendly.
interesting.
Sea lions are friendly until people are dicks to them, so that's why the rules are what it is, right? Because people
Mm.
are kind of like, people do horrible things to sea lions. Like, they'll come put their kids, go ride them. You're like, leave them alone.
Oh,
Don't do that. You're like, they'll go, like, encroach. So I can understand the rules because they're, like, harassing them. Instead of
yeah.
being, like, chilling with the sea lion, they're like harassing them. There's a huge difference between like taking a picture and just chilling and like watching them harass them and like take repeated pictures like 2 feet from them and without being cautious or slow. You'll
Yeah,
see
I
the
can
difference.
explain
Like
disrespect.
if you ever been to La Jolla, you would know like what it's like, right? I've been there quite a bit and like some of the stuff is kind of obnoxious. You're like, that's a little obnoxious.
Hmm.
But it's yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's an interesting experience. I definitely learned a lot. I'm excited to get back to work and tackle some of these sea level rise issues.
That'd be
I mean,
awesome.
this chart is stunning. This chart's stunning. Like that.
I actually love. I think my favorite is just seeing all the different type of formations in the water.
I think it's interesting if you go back to this one, go back to the map, right? We can go to like, let's go back to Galveston. Did I type that wrong? I probably. I'm dumb. Because that's the back to Galveston. You're looking at like water level. It's kind of low.
Mm.
Yeah, water levels. Yeah, you got like what's it
Kind
called?
of, yeah, it kind of makes me
Point
wonder how
six six.
shallow. Oh.
Yeah, you can see that it's clearly in right now that it's
Mm-hmm.
low tide down there, high tide, then low tide at night. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I like it's cool. You can do stuff with it, but it's like gonna show visibility. That's what makes it interesting. So here's the offshore light. I've never seen what it actually looks like. It doesn't have a water level, but it's got the tide data. I'm
Hmm.
actually gonna Google this really quickly to see what it looks like. I wonder what it's like an image. Let's see here. Oh, okay. You ever seen the 18-mile light?
No.
I'll take a picture for it. I'll put it in a. I'll put it in Zoom. I'll put it in the link. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oh, due to admin restrictions, I can't use the business one. I'll put it in a Discord.
Okay.
So this is the 18-mile light. That's what that measure. That's what that data is being measured from.
Oh, that's rusty.
Yeah, yeah. It's this. Pretty sure it's the 18-mile light. Here is that's the 18 mile, and then you got that's the lighthouse, and then you have the Coast Guard light, which is here's what it looked like a long time ago. You're curious?
Sure.
What a difference!
Oh.
What a difference, right?
Yeah, it's probably when it was built.
Yeah. Now it's like the old lighthouse. It's like offshore. That's the 18 mile light, like 18 miles out.
Mm. It's like something that would be abandoned.
It's still going.
That's cool.
There's dead zones out there, though. You got to be careful. So, like, the issue you have in a lot of these areas off Sabine is you got dead zones. They're low oxygen freshwater from the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know if you know what a dead zone is when it comes to, like, oceans and, like, rivers.
I feel like I've kind of heard it before, but feel free to explain.
Okay, so a dead zone basically is an area of body of water, like ocean, lake, whatever, that it's the oxygen level is so low that the marine life can't live.
Okay.
So one of the biggest, what's it called, dead zones in the world is the Gulf of Mexico dead zone, fueled by the Mississippi runoff. It is literally one of the most dead that you'll ever find. Like, and I mean dead. So,
kind of an eerie spot, huh?
yeah, I mean, it's 6,000 miles of nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Or square miles, sorry. That runoff from the Mississippi just murders this part of the water, dude. Through like, and it's over towards like Louisiana, the Mississippi River runoff. It just takes the oxygen right out. And you got to think it's a above average dead zone for the Gulf. You know, there's a lot of agriculture development, so all of that stuff from America runs right to the Gulf.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole area is dead from like hypoxia. So you got all that developed land, all of that. Here's an example from NOAA. Here's what I'll show you. This will explain it soon. Look at this. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
I see.
Where's that all go? Right to the Mississippi River. And where's that runoff go?
Yeah.
Right to the Gulf. And
yeah.
And what happens with all that runoff? You have hypoxia.
So that's where everything. So
there's no marine life. There's very little marine life through this area, and then there's very little, if any. They might have none.
I see.
This right here is. I'll send another picture. This one right here. So it comes in, and anything to the left here, dead. Nothing can survive through it.
Dang, it's all contained in this one area.
Yeah. Those are problems. You know, you get dead zones here that are major problems because we pollute so much on the river with runoff. Like, we pollute badly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something to see, you know? It's just something to see, and unfortunately, that's kind of what we're living in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
At this area right here, dude. Like, this area right here.
Is there any way to fix it?
No.
Yeah, kind of stuck there.
They're not. I mean, I guess if you get rid of a nutrient, no.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I mean, practically, there's a way to do it. Politically, I doubt it.
Okay.
People would have to give up economic routes. You'd have to reduce nutrient runoff. So you would have to limit fertilizer. And I'm the biggest proponent of this is limiting fertilizer in agriculture and landscaping and moving what's it called? Cows and ag off of rivers.
Mm.
Either that or you build buffer strips near water, but they can't get to. You need to upgrade wastewater treatment to remove nitrogen, phosphorus probably. You
Yeah.
can start by restoring wetlands through there,
Mm-hmm.
replant along riverbanks to get that sediment trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another way is control industry, control the discharge and livestock waste, the industrial waste. And the Black Sea used to be dead, but after fertilizer was dropped, I believe that the oxygen returned.
Mm.
So, you have to stop the runoff, but big agriculture is not going to let you do that. I'm not you need them on board, but they really need to figure out what they're doing because they're kind of causing these issues without knowing or not knowing. They know, they just don't care. You know what I mean?
Getting people on board on a plan is kind of hard to do.
Yeah, they just don't care. So getting them to give a shit, my French, is a little more complicated than it looks. So yeah, I mean it's a wild one. I mean, people need to really be aware of that stuff. So yeah, this is a fun one. Just going live and having fun. We don't Thursdays. We kind of just go live and have fun. We don't really do a lot, right, Ethan?
Kind of our chill session.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of behind the scenes and kind of random stuff, hang out. We don't normally do too much. Check some charts and look at some beach vibes. I mean, look at Santa Monica showing off. You got North Shore over there showing off for Hawaii.
Hawaii is beautiful.
Cape Fears.
Nice.
Cape Fear needs to be reset. Yeah, Hawaii's gorgeous. I love Hawaii. I don't know if I'll do research out there though. I'm starting to look at cost.
Oh, yeah, that could hurt.
Well, I'm worried with the cuts that I won't have enough, and then if I don't have enough to finish the research, I don't graduate and I don't get my PhD.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risk, There's a lot of risk, a lot of reward, but there might be mitigated risk and just as much reward somewhere else.
I guess I could say it's a gamble with research.
It is a gamble. It's just I don't know if I want to gamble that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll give it 10 more minutes and call it a night.
Yeah, sounds about, yeah.
We'll do an hour and a half and show our audience. And we've had 3 viewers total. 3 viewers. We got 1 watching right now, and it's me.
Or me.
Are you watching? We go like the video. We don't really do much on our YouTube channel. We just we really focus more on just the Spotify and the Substack. I'm thinking we could do. I'll post another. What's it called? I'll post another news posting. Got some people to view it. I don't know if people open it right now.
Yeah.
It's a nice newsletter.
Yeah. They
You
get into
can.
the science journalism world.
I know. Too easy to unsub. Boo.
Oh, did you read that somewhere?
Yeah, it's just looking right here. Oh yeah. And it's a nice. We give a nice message and coastal
Mm-hmm.
town and upcoming episodes and what's it called? We'll have to figure out what to do for Saturday for next episode. I got an idea. I like the coastal town ideas. I think it's cool. We can highlight some of the smaller towns too,
Mm-hmm.
and then go from there. So
It'd be kind of interesting to figure out what's going on around it, either locally or even across the world.
yeah, we could. We're not tied down to the U.S.
Yeah.
We could do images abroad. We could do cities abroad, and everyone has these issues. And definitely, you get any plays on Spotify yet?
Some of the islands.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Depends on how much data we can find on them, how much information. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. We don't really do a lot. Let's see if I can. I think it'd be exciting. I think we'll be all good. Sweet. Deleted the intro.
Mm-hmm.
These are out of order, though.
The episodes are out of order.
Yeah,
How
it's
did
one,
that
two,
happen?
1, 2, 4, 3. It looks like.
I can't escape that.
Well, I don't know how to. I guess it's just what they gotta deal with, right?
That's been happening with me wherever I go when I've been publishing this stuff.
Hey,
I'm going in order.
our episode post is chart new water 2, 3, 4, 1.
Okay. Why Spotify? Why Substack?
Yeah,
Well,
it's. Hey, you know what? It's fun. We got cool podcast download. Someone downloaded our podcast.
oh nice.
Yeah, the episode only did episode 2. Okay.
Mm.
Why not have the other one? The other ones are just as good. Anything, I think they're better.
Well, I guess
Yeah, we'll call
one
it.
of us is going to have to go in there and figure out what the heck
Yeah,
happened.
we'll call the live so we can go do that.
That's
All right. Until next
funny.
time, everyone. We'll be back next Thursday.